What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we are going to be shooting out two very sweet ESP LTD Alexi Laiho guitars. This is a 2007 bone stock Alexi Laiho LTD 600 guitar, and this one is a very heavily modified 2008 ESP LTD Alexi Laiho 200 series. I have a full video on my channel that goes through the build process of this guitar and everything that I did to this guitar to get it to pretty much the specs of a 600 or at least an ESP standard guitar. What I want to do is highlight some of the similarities and the differences between these guitars and just kind of give you an idea of which one is better worth your time and money if you are going to be buying one of these things. Is it the bone stock 600 guitar, which is a great made in Korea option, or is it going to be a budget guitar that you put a ton of time and money into and you're going to bring it up to the spec of this guitar or even a guitar that is spec'd much higher than this? Let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into the specs and features of the LTD 600. All of the LTD 600s from the very first iteration of 2006 to the final production of where they are now pretty much have the exact same specs for the most part. This guitar has an alder body and it has a maple neck through design. This also has the ESP thin U shape, and I think this one's around a 305 to a 350 millimeter radius. It's either a 12 or a 16 degree radius for how that translates. This one has an original Floyd Rose trem on it. Some of the newer Alexi Laiho 600 guitars have a Floyd Rose 1000 on them. This early example has an EMG HZ H4 pickup. It does not have any extra preamps or anything like Alexi had on his guitar. This pickup actually changed to a Seymour Duncan Blackout at one point, and then it turned into the EMG HZ H2, which is a little bit more in line with what Alexi had on his personal guitars. This one has some fretboard binding, 25.5-inch scale length design, ebony fingerboard, 24 nickel frets. On Alexi's guitars, some of his frets were scalloped, and there are no scalloped frets on any of these import Alexi Laiho LTD guitars. This is also one of the earlier models from the production run, so the upper access heels started around the 19th fret on these earlier models. So getting up to the higher register, you kind of have to like put your hand around the body of the guitar to make it comfortable for playing up around the 21st to the 24th fret. In 2008, this was changed and it moved down to the 21st fret, so playing up here was much more easier on these guitars. Some of these earlier Alexi Laiho 600 guitars also had a painted neck. We also have Grover tuners, Floyd Rose locking nut up here, and a Floyd Rose string retainer. That is more or less it. Pretty well all of these guitars that are made in Korea from the World Music Factory, from LTD and other brands that are made there. Fantastic guitars, like you can kind of buy them sight unseen, and they're really great guitars. This one particularly is a really great example of the World Music Factory and these Alexi Laiho LTDs. Very solid guitar at the end of the day if you're going to be buying one. It just needs a bit of an upgrade, especially in the electronics department, which we will talk about later. Now, you can't really buy this particular finish and graphic brand new anymore. The only one that's available is the LTD Hexed model and the LTD Rip model. Those guitars are coming in at around $1,800 American. The only way you can get this particular graphic is if you're searching the used market, and the prices of those are going to fluctuate. So we will take that $1,800 price point for a brand new Alexi Laiho guitar and use it to compare it to the next guitar. Alright, here is our next guitar, and this started life as a bone stock ESP LTD 200 series, and this was the entry-level Alexi Laiho signature guitar that was released if you were not able to afford the 600 series, ESP standard, or the custom shop. This guitar, bone stock, has a basswood body, has an ESP branded bridge and humbucker. This guitar is also a bolt-on, which is different from the other guitars, which are all neck through. This one also has an unfinished maple neck, and it looks like this one is probably like a one-piece neck with the scarf joint up here. Very interesting to see. Got some nice figuring. Sometimes that's just the cut of wood that you get. This guitar still has a 25.5-inch scale, rosewood fingerboard, nickel frets, 24 frets. None of the frets are scalloped and all that. This one is also a 2008 model, so as I said earlier, that upper access cutaway is moved down to the 19th fret, so playing up here is much more easier by comparison to those 2007 and 2006 Alexi Laiho guitars. Now, when I got this guitar, I totally overhauled it, so I've since put a brand new original Floyd Rose in this guitar. I have the EMG ALX set, which is an EMG HZ H2 with the EMG ABQ preamp. It comes as a whole set. Then I put some locking tuners on this guitar. I put these pinstripes on it. And if you want to see the whole video of this guitar coming together, I'm going to link to it. You can check it out after this one. Now, if memory serves me right, all said and done, this guitar with the brand new parts and the upgrades and me setting it up, this was around 570 American dollars. I got the guitar used. I got another bridge for this guitar, like secondhand from a music store for pretty cheap. I used some no-name brand locking tuners, which work really well. The pinstripe for like 40 bucks, I think, and I'm not like charging myself like time and labor because I do all this stuff as well. But if you are gonna do this, like, you have to consider how much money you are gonna be spending a tech to put this whole guitar for you if you don't trust yourself with putting a whole guitar like this together or setting it up yourself. And it just so happens I got lucky and I got the actual husk of this guitar for very cheap, and this guitar is in very good shape as well. So keep all of that in mind. If you're looking for one of these brand new ESP LTD 200 series Alexi guitars, they're going for around $800 brand new, which is a lot of money still for a guitar that is going to need a lot of upgrades. So if I had to send this guitar in with all the extra parts and everything into a trusted guitar tech, I would probably say the whole cost of this would probably be around $700 to $1,000 at the end of the day, depending on what kind of parts you're going to be using and depending on how much it's going to cost to have someone else do all of this work for you. So at this point, I've set up both of the guitars with a set of 10s and tuned them both to D standard respectively. And then this guitar also has the EMG ALX set. It's an active preamp with the pickup. This one just has the passive EMG HZH4. I'm going to probably toggle between the passive and the active sound here so you can hear how they sound on maybe some lighter gain settings, whereas this one is just, that is what it is, and that's all you get is this one sound. Then after that, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on both these guitars. Here we go. Alright, so let's get to some of the points that I like about the 200 series guitar. I like the fact that this guitar started life in really great shape and I got it for a really good price, and it served as a great mod platform, and that's something that I like to do. I also like that I didn't have to spend even more money to upgrade an already expensive guitar. This guitar plays and sounds really good as well, especially with that upgraded pickup and the upgraded bridge and a little bit of TLC in getting this guitar really set up. And if you are doing a build like this, like, you can go as far as you would like to in terms of price and hardware and everything like that, and I've outlined that in the other video, so make sure you go check that out. But this guitar feels really good, and if you know how to give a guitar a good setup, like, you can have some of these entry-level guitars playing and sounding like really awesome, and this one is no exception. This thing is awesome. Even up at the higher frets here, since this is the updated body, soloing feels really good. It is a bolt-on, but it still feels really comfy in the palm of my hand. Like, the bolt-on neck design doesn't really get in my way or anything. Neck feels really comfy, and yeah, plugged in, this guitar sounds really good. It has a lot of clarity to it. Although I will say, when I'm playing this guitar like unplugged or just plugged in, and I'm just kind of hearing and feeling the notes like resonate and vibrate, like, the notes just aren't jumping off of this guitar, and that could be in part to maybe the cuts of wood that are used to make this guitar. Remember, this is a 200 series. It's at the entry-level point for guitars. This does sound really good when it's plugged in, especially because that's what you do with electric guitars, but you know, just the notes aren't jumping off of it like it would with like a higher quality guitar that uses like higher cuts of wood and everything like that. Still feels good, still sounds really good, but you know, that's maybe a small thing that I might be complaining about that might really mean nothing. And if you are someone who is pretty handy and you are capable of doing all these things on your own, like, yeah, this could be a fun weekend project for you. But if you are not that kind of person, or you don't have the desire to do any of that, you're gonna have to spend more money and paying someone else to do all of that work for you. So keep that in mind as well if you are considering some of these more affordable entry-level guitars as an upgrade and mod platform. Now, getting to the 600 series, this guitar just feels and sounds really great. I will say that the pickup on this guitar definitely needs to be changed. Like, it sounds good on its own, but when you're comparing it to the EMG ALX set or like the EMG H set H2 with the MM04 preamp, like, you can't just beat those in terms of the Children of Bodom sound. So if you are buying one of these guitars, I totally recommend you get one of those preamps that I mentioned, or you get a Seymour Duncan Blackout, which is something what Alexi used as well. This guitar comes really well equipped in terms of hardware and the fit and finish. Like, this is a fantastic guitar. I also like the fact that it has like the neck through design. This is something that I really like. Feels super comfy. This is the older model as well, so it does have that upper access point a little bit higher on the fingerboard. So yeah, you do have to position your hand in an awkward spot for some of those soloing moments, but otherwise, the fit and finish of this guitar is absolutely great. If you are in North America and you can get one of these for a really good price, this is a really solid option. You really don't have to do much to it outside of maybe changing the pickup or throwing a pedal in front of your amp if you're just gonna keep it stock. Feels really great, sounds really great. The notes on this guitar just kind of jump off of it by comparison to the 200 series, and yeah, this is awesome guitar. So at the end of the day, I don't know if I can honestly recommend one or the other. This is fun if you like doing these mod and these build projects and if you want to learn something new, but also this is great if you have the budget for a brand new one, or if you can find a particular used example that you like and you just don't have to do anything to it as well. I don't recommend buying these guitars brand new, especially if you are going to use it as a mod platform, because you're going to spend a lot of money pretty quick. And at that point, I would say save a little bit of extra money and either get an Edwards or one of these LTD 600 guitars if they are local to you. This is a used mod platform for the right price. Definitely worth it, but not as a brand new one. That's going to do it for today's video. Let me know all thoughts and opinions down below, especially which one of these two is your favorite, or in general, which is your favorite Alexi Laiho guitar. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I have tons more Children of Bodom guitar content, other guitar videos and topics as well. And if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.